Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'm really sorry we're running a few minutes late. Unfortunately, we've had a few technical issues that have problems with the streaming service, but we think we've resolved that now, so we should be all okay to go. I'm delighted to say that I'm here today with Michelle from Socialsendr, as you can see on the screen, and we're going to be talking all about how to use Socialsendr. So I know Michelle's going to give us a bit of a demo in a minute, but just give a bit of background, really. Be good to know, Michelle, kind of why you set the app up, really. I guess that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Hi, Mike. Thanks for sort of having me on. Yeah, really kind of started about 4 years ago when I left my corporate career. I was trying to sort of figure out what I wanted to do. And I ended up, I don't know how, but talking to a lot of small business owners. And there was this sort of common thread throughout that lots of sole traders in particularly really struggled with social media. So they knew that they needed to be on social media from a kind of branding and awareness perspective. But lots of these people struggle with what to write. They don't know how to create content, don't really kind of procrastinate around what to put out there. And some people really quite embarrassed about putting their sort of lives out on social media to promote the business. They were kind of struggling with time. So with sole traders, you're generally focusing on the business and not necessarily into marketing and social media. And also, certainly in the startup world, which I'm in, budget is really sensitive. So, they've got a limited amount of budget, so they can't always afford to pay somebody to do the social media. So that's originally why I came up with the idea for the app, which was I'd seen a gap in the market. How could I build an app that was full of different content, which was kind of industry or interest specific, that these companies, businesses could post out to the social media. But also we then built in scheduling. So it really trying to take the headache of social media away from these sole traders.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I think that probably resonates with a lot of people. So you kind of touched on it a little bit there, but who is this app for? Because I'm sure there's obviously lots of people who use social media, and kind of who's it really targeted at?
Yeah, so really, I mean, my ideal client is a sole trader. So it might be an accountant, a personal trainer, a beautician, a marketing consultant, a recruitment consultant, somebody who kind of works on their own or within a really small team, sort of in that micro area of like maybe 2, 3, 4 employees. And really where there's no kind of social media expertise. And while lots of people are quite happy to be on social media from a personal perspective, when it comes to putting the business out there, they feel quite vulnerable and it's quite daunting putting yourself out there. So really it's that sole trader, very small business owner. And when you get into that where the businesses are doing really well and they have set aside a budget for social media, then that kind of customer is probably not for us.
Oh, that makes sense. And just finally, I mentioned to anybody who's watching this as well, if you've got any questions as we go through this, please do ask Michelle as we go through, and we'll kind of cover those at the end as well. But one final thing from me, Michelle, is probably most people are aware of the likes of Hootsuite, Buffer, and there's loads of different kind of social media scheduling type tools with all sorts of different, they've all got things about them that are good and not so good, I guess. How does Socialsendr differ from those type of platforms?
Yeah, so I mean, Hootsuite is probably the most well-known scheduling tool. So for a start, scheduling is part of our app, but it is not the app. So we lead on content. We've got over 6,000 individual pieces of content within the app, which most of the social media scheduling applications don't actually provide that content. So we lead on the content. Scheduling comes kind of secondary. But Hootsuite and Buffer and Loomly and all those kind of social media apps that we would sit alongside, they're all enterprise class software. So they are built with the kind of medium to large enterprise in mind, which is why they're very rich in features and sometimes quite complicated to use. So we've done our very best to keep our product as simple as possible. So take out lots of the complication. We don't have high-end analytics. I mean, those products are absolutely fantastic for analytics, and we've basically decided to leave analytics out of our product. And, you know, if you want to understand your Facebook analytics or your Twitter analytics, then, you know, go to the platform, because those platforms have got really high-end analytics, as we all know. So, yeah, so their place is there for the bigger companies. Our place is for that really at the bottom end, for the sole trader and the very small business.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Michelle. So, I mean, you happy to kind of show us all quickly kind of what it's all about and how it works?
Yeah. So first, I'm going to take you through how to set up an account. It's really quite simple. I'm gonna. Can you share the screen for me, or am I already sharing, Mike?
There it is. It's all on there for you now. You can see that.
Yeah, so this is our homepage, and got lots of information on there, and we've got blogs and different kind of. There's a white paper on there if anybody's interested in how to put together the social media. We offer a 14-day free trial. We didn't touch on price before. It's $9.99 a month, which, you know, when we came up with the pricing, we wanted to create a fair price for these smaller businesses, to make it more accessible. So I'm just going to walk you through setting up an account. So it's really easy. I'm just going to put in an email address and put in a password. Already I've done the wrong thing. I want to register, not sign in. So let me and we've got this little concierge lady here who basically will talk you through what you need to provide us. Oh, here we are. This is the problem with doing a live demo.
We always get passwords wrong, Michelle. I don't think anyone's done do that.
So here we are. It's going to take me to the primary feed. If your industry is in here, then you would pick one. So I'm just going to pick accountancy. So if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper, this would be your primary. Don't worry if you don't see your primary feed in there, because we've still got loads of content in related to other industries. If it's listed as a primary, it means that we've got over 15 pieces of content which are industry specific in any 1 month. Okay, so on to your secondary. You can choose as many of these as you want, but say, for instance, I'm an accountant, so I'll just sort of quickly, I might be interested in motivation. I might be interested in, let me find, there's a business one. I'm also interested in well-being. And, you know, you can see we've got a wide range of stuff in here. So pick as many as you want. Move on to the next screen. You can then choose how frequently you want to post, and this is really on a personal level. We've got one of our customers only opens 4 days a week, so they choose to only post on the days that they're open. Some businesses don't like to engage on a weekend. I'll show you in the settings a different way of doing this, but let's, for argument's sake, let's just pick every day for now. I can connect to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Now, for Facebook and LinkedIn, it has to be the business and company pages, but you need to be the admin for those pages to be able to connect. Twitter, they don't really care, so it'll connect to any Twitter account. And I can do this later as well, so let me just leave that blank for now, and I'll move on. Here, you can add some hashtags. Now, because of the way that the algorithms work in the different social media platforms, they're all different. You know, they change them up all the time. I would say, you know, maybe if you're looking for work in terms of where you're based, you can just put where you are. You could put accountant, because I'm an accountant, or I could put, if I was focusing on a specific industry, I could say HR. So I was an accountant for HR professionals. And here I can put my website for my own website, for the business website. So I'll leave that blank, but when we put in the URL here, it'll pull it into the post, and I'll show you later. And then here, I'm literally putting in my personal details. And go on to the next. And then we've got permissions. So how do you want to be contacted? So yes, if we've got important communication about the product, we will push that out to you. And then at other times I'll say, well, I actually prefer emails, so I'll leave SMS blank. And then we get to the payment stage. So as I said, it's £9.99 a month, but we do have the 14-day free trial. And then we do a discounted subscription for a year, which is £99.99. So I'm going to stop there because I'm going to actually go into a live account. So if you'll just bear with me, I'm going to log in to John's account. So John's a real customer. I'm not making this up. He's an accountant. He's based in Oldham and he likes to work locally. Now this is the home screen, but I'm just going to quickly take you to the settings. So his feed settings are set up. Accountant set. He's picked motivation, fun, well-being. Fun might be, you know, bring your dog to work day, or it's rubbish Christmas jumper day, or things like that. By the way, we've got every single awareness day that you can think of in there. General settings here, he's got 3 hashtags. He doesn't put his website URL in because he does all his business mostly word of mouth, so hasn't got a website. He uses his LinkedIn and his Facebook as his kind of landing pages. Post schedule. Like I said, you can change this. If I just wanted Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I would just highlight those and save. I can have any combination of days that I want to post. And some of the customers that we've had kind of test things. So they might say, okay, one week we're just going to do weekends. Another week we're going to do weekdays. Or they might say Tuesdays work really good for us, so we'll try that. And then here is how you connect to the Facebook account. So what I've done is I've just disconnected this for argument's sake. And I'll just go into my account. This is my old account, so it's so I just want to just kind of show you how easy it is. Oh, great. Apologies, everybody.
Brilliant. So Facebook with its new security stuff. Just while you're doing that, Michelle, we did have a question from Marianne about can you give us an example of the type of content, and is it copy and photos? So I'm sure, will you be showing us that on the demo?
Yeah, I'm going to show you that, and I will give you an example. I'm now trying to work out what my authentication code is. Just a minute. You know, there's one thing about this. At least, you know, we're in a secure environment, and they are actually doing the check-in. Oh gosh.
And we know it's going live as well. That's the thing. We're not pretending to be live. So thank you for the question, Marianne, by the way, while Michelle sorts that.
Oh, do you know? Apologies about this. See if it sends me another one. Have we got any more questions, Mike?
That's at the moment.
Right.
I'll like concentrate on trying to do that. Like I said, if anybody does have any questions for Michelle about the app,
I don't think this demo could have gone. We've had every single problem thrown at us today, haven't we?
Yeah, the benefits of using technology is good, but kind of its challenges, unfortunately. But
yeah.
Well, it looks like it's working now.
Yeah, so now it's saying continue as me. Okay, and it should now pop up with some options for me to connect the pages that I manage. So I'll select that, and here I want to select Branson's accountant. So I'm connected to Facebook and Twitter now. The LinkedIn account's not connected, but it works in a similar way. I've got to be the admin of that account to connect it. So back to the home page. So based on what we've selected for John in terms of his accountancy is his primary. So what you see, there are 2 posts, one for 5 o'clock today and one for 9 o'clock this morning. above this thick blue box. That's because accountancy is John's primary. So they've been picked because they've been tagged with accountancy. Everything below the line has been picked based on his secondary choices. So if you didn't have a primary, nothing would post automatically. Everything would appear below the line. Everything's editable. So if I wanted to edit this one at 5 o'clock, I could just click on the post, click on the grey edit button. I can change the picture by deleting it here and adding my own picture here. I would say that if you've got your own photographs and you in the business environment, or of you as a business person, if it's appropriate, swap my pictures out for yours, because people connect more closely to those pictures that they kind of recognise. You can change the words. If I decided I didn't want this one to go out to Facebook, I would just literally click off the Facebook icon and it will only go to Twitter, because that's the only other account is connected to. But I'll bring it back. Here it's added in another hashtag which is connected to the post because it's a quote from Larry Page. If I didn't want that hashtag Larry Page, I would just literally click on it and it's gone. I'll bring it back. If I wanted to add a web link in there, I could do. And I can change the time. So that one's set for 5 o'clock tonight. Let me change that to 4 o'clock. Okay, I'm gonna save it and I go back and I can now see that that's going out at 4 o'clock. If I didn't want that post, I could literally just click on it, press the yellow button, and I've demoted it, and you can see it down there now. If I look down and I say, actually, I've seen this quote, today it's National Philanthropy Day, I'd like that one. I click on it, use the green button, and I've promoted it. Again, it's after 9 o'clock, so let me just edit that. Change the time, 4 o'clock this afternoon. And that post is now going out at 4 o'clock. I can see 30 days ahead. And what you'll see above the line is everything accountancy related. Now, there are some things that are not accountancy related, because I've been in prior to this call and I've moved some stuff from below the line, above the line. If I click on this icon at the bottom with the 9 dots, I can see that all the stuff in the kind of teal colour is the posts that are up there, because they're all accountancy related. The ones that are pale blue are the ones that I've moved above the line that have not been tagged as accountancy, but they're below the line, and it might be because of a secondary interest. If I click on this hamburger menu to the left, I can actually see what's gone out over the last 14 days, but also what's coming up over the next 30 days. So I can only see 30 days ahead. But what you can see is it's a really professional looking feed for an accountant. And depending on the industry you choose, it will depend on the kind of content. So we try and change the tone of voice to the industry that we think it matches. So if it's legal, you'll tend to get more of a serious tone. Now, I would say if you can use this content as kind of inspiration, but also, change it if you can, because if you're an accountant in Huddersfield and you've got an accountant in Mirfield and you both subscribe, you'll both get the same content. Now, I don't want to be derogatory to accountants, but they don't seem to be bothered. It's because I guess that their business is not so competitive. There's enough room for everybody in their industry. But Mary-Ann, I know that you're on the call and you're a photographer, so it would probably horrify me if you used my app and used my images when you've got a whole bank of photography in your kit bag that you could swap for mine. So if you've got the pictures, use your own. One of the really nice features that we like about the app is this being able to add your own. And if you use any of the other scheduling tools, you'll know that this is a challenge for all of the scheduling apps. So we think that we've got something here that is fairly unique in the way that our recurrence works on this post. So here we are, we've got you can create your own post. So you could say, hi, my name's John. I'm an accountant. I'm based in Oldham. I like to work across the Greater Manchester area. Upload a picture of John, and then we say, right, okay, well, we could repeat that. We could repeat it weekly, monthly, or annually. So I'll just go through all three. So weekly, it's selected Wednesday because that's today, but I could say, I want this message to go out on a Monday. Starting from today's date, well, I want that message to go out at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it will end never. So it'll only end when I go in and I say, this post about John, I need to change it now. Or if I want to change his picture or something like that. I can also change that to monthly. So here I could choose a date. So I say, actually, on the 1st of the month and the 14th of the month, it's not. So 1st of the month and the 14th of the month, when those dates occur on any one of those dates, it will go out at 8 o'clock. So on the 1st and the 14th, hi, my name is John, I'm an accountant, blah, blah, blah. Or I could just say, I just want it to go out on the 14th. I can also select yearly. Now, this doesn't have to be annually, but I could say, okay, it's John's birthday in February. So we'll say on the 14th of February, when it occurs on any one of those dates, I'm going to say, okay, hi, my name's John, it's my birthday today. That sounds a bit creepy, but anyway, it could be that if you've got a number of people in your organisation, you could put their birthdays in, or it could be the anniversary of when you set up the business. Another thing that you can do on this yearly function is I could say, actually, I want something to go out quarterly, so let's go with this scenario, and we'll go on the 1st of every month, I want a message to go out. So that means that in the background, I can create a whole bank of recurring posts, which maybe, did you know we do tax advice? Did you know we can file your end of year accounts? It could be if you've got multiple service offerings that you would just use my app as a scheduling tool to set up recurring posts, just in terms of a branding exercise and reminding people where you're at. I'm not going to save that, but basically that's it. We've tried to keep the product as simple as possible. We think it's easy to use. We've got feedback from our customers that they find it easy. Normally, once they've had a demo or they look at some of the videos on YouTube, they can work it out themselves. We've tried to make it as kind of self-serving as it can be. And that's it, Mike. So I don't know if you've got any questions.
No, I do have a question, so Michelle. So the first thing to me that stood out, you used the word inspiration for what it is. That's why I see it as a social media inspiration tool, because I think that's, for people like me who are useless at things like this, that's probably the biggest challenge I have, is thinking what to write. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use everything exactly what you've done, but it gives you a starting point. Would you say that's quite reflective of a lot of people?
Yeah, and we do have customers that use it for inspiration but don't actually post to any social platform. They just go in every day and sort of say, oh, this is happening today, or this is coming up, and start building something around it. So, I've got social media managers that use it.
Yeah.
And we know that we've got all the awareness days in there. And I think somebody actually told me that it was somebody in the Northern Affinity who said, oh, did you know that there was an awareness day for putting your cat on top of the fridge? And I was like, right, okay, it's in. And I researched it and I thought, gosh, that's a thing. But, if you were struggling for something to write, it's just about putting something out there. And you could say, actually, it's putting your cat on top of the fridge day. Who's actually going to do that? Start a discussion around it. And those awareness days were originally created for that purpose.
Right.
To create noise around a cause or something funny, or, there's lots of organisations that create their own awareness days.
Yeah, and am I right in saying that? So the platforms that you currently support on there is Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Is that right?
Yeah, and we do get asked about Instagram occasionally. We're a startup. This product's only been live for 11 months now. We we would love to add it Instagram. It's kind of, it's a budgeting thing for us in terms of we're a startup, and we need to kind of build our revenue up before we kind of further develop the product.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense. Now, we just had a well, more of a comment than really a question from Anita there. I know we both know Anita. Love to show this to the ladies group. So there's another demo opportunity.
I'd love to demonstrate it, Anita. So just let me know when, and I'll be there.
There you go. That's good. So thank you for that, Anita. Yeah, so I guess I kind of partly that question I just asked really is kind of what is there anything next for the app? Is it what's kind of in the development? I guess
yeah, so we currently we don't add, you can't add video, so that's something that we're looking at.
Okay.
And Instagram has always been in the pipeline. It's a big project for us, so we've not kind of gone down that road yet. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess the video one is interesting. Obviously, that's
yeah.
Yeah, I guess videos are obviously quite unique, aren't they, to people individually? So trying to get that to work might be a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure you can do it.
Yeah. So for anybody that's interested, I mean, if they can look at the Socialsendr account on social profiles and see the kind of content that we've got, and we really do try and mix it up on our account in particular, just to try and demonstrate the kind of diverse types of content that we've got.
Yeah, that's great. I was going to kind of ask that question, Michelle, to finish. Really, is if people want to whether use the app or find out more about the app or look at more, where's the best places to go? So
we've got videos on YouTube under Socialsendr. I'm more than happy to jump on a one-to-one. I have a 15-minute demo call that I do. I can send people the link, and if they want to come with me, I will gladly do that. It takes me it's taken me a bit longer today because of the technical mishaps, but it takes me about 8 minutes to demo the app normally. So it's not a huge amount of time. So if people want to have a kind of one-to-one demo, just contact me on LinkedIn and I will get back to them.
Thank you, Michelle. And if for any reason, if people can't find, I'm sure you will be able to find Michelle or Socialsendr, please do contact us and we can point you in the right direction. That's always okay. So yeah, thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Sorry about the technical stuff.
Yeah, well, this is the part of the fun and games of doing these type of things. But no, we got through it, which is the main thing. I think it's given everyone a good flavour of what the platform is about. And I know it's working really well for so many people. So yeah, thank you for your time, Michelle. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, everyone.